Go ahead.
All right, we welcome you into our WFAA Plus coverage, our continuing coverage of World Cup 2026, because today we now know what the matches will be at AT&T Stadium. I'm coming to you from AT&T Stadium, and we approach halftime. I think we just got to halftime of the Big 12 championship game here at AT&T Stadium. Last I looked anyway, Texas Tech was up 10-7 on BYU at halftime of that game. But 5 matches that we now know are coming to AT&T Stadium in the group stage match. And AT&T Stadium, no surprise, got some really, really good matchups and some terrific teams coming here to Arlington. I'm Mike Leslie, Paul Livengood, our soccer expert, joining us as well. Paul, you and I were texting here in the last hour. This slate is fantastic.
Absolutely. So, they started off with a great opening match, Netherlands versus Japan. The Netherlands fans travel really, really well. Dan Hunt has a great story about past World Cups where he's gone to, where he's ran into Netherlands fans, and they're just electric. So and then Japan and Netherlands are two of the best teams in that group and in the world. So that's going to be a really exciting matchup. I think the biggest headline, obviously, is Argentina, the defending champs, are coming here to play 2 games. Messi probably on the team as well. He said that he may or may not play. I think that's a bunch of crap, and he is going to play. I'm going to call him on his BS there. But even if he's not, they are the defending champs. They're the top or one of the top ranked teams in the world. So that draw is very big. Yeah. And then the one Group L game that you could have possibly wanted, England versus Croatia. Those are both top 10 teams. Petar Musa for FC Dallas plays for Croatia, so there's a little homecoming there as well. But if they only got one Group L game in the schedule, and if there was one to have, that was the one.
Yeah, you ended up with the top 2 teams in Group L and a top 10 matchup in the world rankings. England at number 4, Croatia at number 10 in the FIFA singular match of the 5 group stage matches that are coming here to AT&T Stadium. The Netherlands-Japan match that you mentioned, it's the first match on June the 14th, probably the second. The other contender there for best head-to-head match. Argentina against Jordan on June 26th looks like an easy win for a good squad. Number 24 in the world rankings, maybe can give Argentina a little bit more of a run in that match on June 22nd. And then I'll give them to you in order so that you've got them in totality. June 14th, the first one, Netherlands versus Japan. June 17th, the England versus Croatia match. June 22nd, Argentina versus Austria. Then June 25th, you get Japan versus a still to be determined team. One of the UEFA playoff winners will face off with Japan on June 25th. And then Jordan versus Argentina on the 27th of June is the final of the 5 group stage matches that will be here at AT&T Stadium. So those 5 matches certainly set the table. And then you've got the 4 knockout stage matches as well, 2 in the round of 32, a group of 16 match, and then, of course, the semifinal that is the big jewel for AT&T Stadium on July the 14th. So, again, the group stage matches are on some level the appetizer, but they're still of paramount importance because they are what sets the table for the knockout rounds. And again, at least 2 of them, matches that may be the matches that determine who wins a group, with the Japan-Netherlands match and with the England-Croatia match. So those are very likely to be defining matches for their groups.
Absolutely. And so, that and Dan had talked about before that, having the most matches and everything, but having those crucial matchups between the top teams in their groups, that's going to be, they mentioned that every game is like a Super Bowl, but like these group stage matches, when you have such big, important matches, it really has, what am I trying to say? Oh my goodness. The importance of these group stage matches would determine the standings in the groups in these particular ones. It's not like a cupcake game. And so, and then you have that semifinal match later on, which could potentially, depending how the groups work out, there's a couple ways that the United States and Mexico could play each other. I've drawn it out. United States would have to win their group, and Mexico would have to finish second. And then if they both did that and advanced through the tournament, they would meet at that semifinal here at Jerry World. And so that would be top tier theater if that were to happen. Obviously, that's very unlikely. There's a lot of variables there that need to come out, but all of the matches that Jerry World have very, very high importance. I think you might be frozen, Mike. Oh no. Yep, I think we lost Mike.
Uh,
I heard you.
you read on US is going to win their group.
Oh, there we go. You there, Mike?
You. I've got you. There we go. Now I can see you. You got me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you back.
Okay. Sorry about that. That's the perils of being in a stadium with 90,000 people. The cell signal is not super reliable.
Exactly, yeah. And we knew that was a possibility. But so I want to quickly dive into now where everyone's attention is going to go is to getting tickets for these games. Now that we know which ones are where, and there's actually a really cool resource I was telling you about. A soccer journalist I follow. His name is Fabian Renkel. He shared this. It's basically the resale market, and it tracks all the different games in like 5-minute intervals. And since this draw came out, obviously that first Argentina game is the most expensive group game of all the different group games. Right now, it's sitting according to this resource, it's grown 215% in the last 5 minutes. And it's gone up to $1,000 as the get-in price on the resale market. $1,000. Insane.
It's not surprising though. The attention that Messi draws is unlike anybody else in the sport. He's the guy that if you're just kind of a soccer fan in North Texas and you
I know that
are
guy.
trying to exactly. He's the easiest draw. He's the easiest attachment. He's the easiest guy to point at and say, you know what? If I'm going to go see only one person, that's the guy that I want to see. And it makes sense that it would be the first match rather than the second match. You probably don't want to you're not as drawn to seeing him just roast Jordan as opposed to, hey, let's watch him play Austria. And it could be a tight match.
And obviously there's the possibility that they have the group wrapped up by that point,
yes.
and Messi might not even play in that game. Or if he does, it's a second half sub where he plays for 15 minutes. Whereas in the first game, he's playing a full 90. If he, and so that game is obviously of big importance. Other games I want to note on this list. I mean, all these Jerry World games are ridiculous. They're I think the smallest one is $417 on the resale market, and that's the Japan. That's the 25th. That's the Japan versus the playoff game. Their other one. And so that makes sense as well.
Right, especially with the unknown variable of who's going to be the opponent.
Exactly.
That's going to help drive down the price a little bit because you don't have another nation's fans chomping at the bit for tickets yet. That will change, obviously, at some point, but
yeah. And so then in the knockout stage there, let's see, this is $600 for one, $700 for another. And I'm assuming these are the ones that, like round of 32 as they go in. The semifinal, it's listing on the resale market for the get-in price is $2,300. for the very tippy top of Jerry World. To go see the
you know what I'm not sure of, but I have to imagine they're doing. Are they doing standing room only tickets like they do for Cowboys games for these matches?
That's a good question. Let me look and see. I don't think so, but I looked on the other. I'm pulling up SeatGeek right now, which I realized FIFA has been telling us, buy only from FIFA.com and they're, which makes sense. And they have their own ratio market. So my question was to them, does that mean that all these other, platforms that we use in America are no good? And basically what they told me is that it still does work, but they're not gonna, they're keeping it at arm's length for the risk of you being scammed.
Right.
And so it's
and that does happen. I saw it happen at a Cowboys game last time I was here for a Cowboys game. Whatever it was at the I wasn't here for Kansas City, so it was the Philly game. I was here for the Philly game, and I was talking with one of the guys in the security area where I was standing, and he was telling me how he was just adjudicating exactly that scenario where somebody was sold a fake ticket, and two different families came to the same set of 4 seats, and one of them had bona fide tickets and the others didn't, and they had to go back to standing. They were at least allowed to, I think, stay in standing room only in that particular scenario. Maybe they had tickets for both areas. I'm not sure. Maybe they were trying. I forget exactly. I'm not sure on the details there, but all of that to say, it does happen, and I'm sure it will happen for the World Cup as well. People are going.
There will be some horror stories of someone that gets scammed, on Ticketmaster or whatever
for $20,000.
But what they told me was basically like, it is a legitimate way to buy them, but like they can't. The only true way they can 100% ensure that you have a real ticket is if you buy it on FIFA.com. And it's like with the Cowboys. If you buy it on Cowboys.com versus SeatGeek or Ticketmaster or whatever. But looking at it, it does not seem like to me that they had standing room ticket, at least not on SeatGeek.
Interesting. Okay.
And so because they have this sold in the different categories 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's all for the seated things. And I would imagine if they were to do the standing room, it obviously would be under category 4, like how, that's the cheapest Cowboy ticket you can get.
Right.
But the map for AT&T Stadium for that category 4 is literally it's like a sliver in the corner of the very top, it's a section of 100 tickets out of, the 100,000 that you can fit in there. And so I don't know if that's indicative of if they will do standing room tickets. Maybe they'll sell out of these and they're like, hey, we can make more money, by doing these, and maybe they'll add it later. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it seems like if you take this at face value right now on SeatGeeks, the way they're selling it, it does not seem like they have standing room only.
Yeah. I wasn't here in 2011 when the Super Bowl was here. I didn't get here for 4 years after that, so I'm not sure whether they did standing room only for the Super Bowl or not. I'm just envisioning, like, we know how crazy that scene is for just a run-of-the-mill
It's a viral video every single time
game.
at every Cowboys game. They all run in.
Yes. I can only imagine that scenario times soccer hooligans could be insane.
Especially if it's a like European Netherlands situation or whatever. So or Argentina, like South American fans
for
coming
the World Cup semifinal.
Oh my goodness! Especially if it's United States versus Mexico. Could you imagine that nightmare scenario?
Oh my god!
But yeah, I mean the two things that were big on the schedule, just happened. The group, everyone's like, who's playing who, and then what games are near me. We all now know that. So now the next looking forward is figuring out who's picking those six playoff spots.
Yeah,
the 4 from Europe, and then the 2 from the rest of the world, the intercontinental. And so we have a little bit of a lull period now for a couple months. But I feel like once we get kind of, I think from about March, February timeframe, I mean, that's what even Monica Paul told me in an interview we did a couple months ago, was I was asking her, I was like, when are we going to start to feel it? Like feel the vibe, fans coming over, broadcasters coming over to go in the IBC and Kay Bailey Hutchinson. Like, when is it going to start to feel like, oh, the World Cup is right around the corner? And that's what she told me, was right around that February, March timeframe.
Yeah.
Because all the, broadcasters from around the world have to bring all their equipment over here and set up. And so that's when the hotels will start getting booked. The fans will start, piling in for their trip to North America. And so I think, once it gets to March, I think it's like we're going to blink and it'll be like, oh, the opening match is here,
Crazy. It's coming. It's going to be.
It's crazy. It feels like it was just yesterday. Me and you were sitting on the digital stage over there talking about, oh my God, Dallas didn't get the World Cup final, and it was a foregone conclusion that that was going to happen. And then they were like, "Psych, that's going to go to New York."
Which of all that, like, I get the New York of it all. It's New York City. It's the tentpole city of America. Like, I get that piece of it.
Yeah,
But the stadium itself, where the game is going to be played, is so meh.
yeah.
It's
I
just
haven't been.
blah.
I'm sure you've been there covering Cowboys
I've
games
been
many
there for
times.
many Cowboys games. I've been there for several sporting events. I was there for lacrosse games when it first opened up in 2010. And
Yeah,
even then, it wasn't anything awe-inspiring. It just, and not to mention, maybe the best thing that will come of this, of the World Cup being there, of the World Cup final being there, is maybe between now and then they'll fix their field, and then it
yeah,
will be
maybe.
solid for everybody that plays there going forward, because that place is a house of horrors for knees, for
Yeah.
ACL tears. It has been for years. It has been complained about by NFL players for years.
Mhm.
So hopefully they get that sorted out between now and when the World Cup comes to town, because I know they have 7 matches, 8 matches in totality, in addition to
Yeah.
having the final. So yeah, MetLife Stadium, or whatever we're gonna call you for the next 6 months,
New
please get
York, New
that figured
Jersey
out.
Stadium.
Oh yeah, because that just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Um,
They don't even want to
anyway,
go to New York because it's not even in New York. It's in New Jersey. They have
well,
to
don't
limp
don't get
around
Arlington people started about it being called
about
Dallas
Dallas
Stadium.
Stadium. The one of the things that I'm kind of interested to see play out, which I think will be a big deal on the field, is the weather in the summertime, because a lot of these NFL stadiums are not enclosed. Obviously, Jerry World is, and so that won't be an issue. But like the World Cup final, MetLife is open air, and on a hot summer day,
Could be
what
95. Yeah.
what is it going to be like for the? Because I mean, when you watch the Club World Cup, all these European clubs came over and they complained, oh, it's too hot and all this, and it was literally like 85 degrees outside,
Well,
70,
hang on.
80
They had a
degrees.
World Cup in Qatar a couple of years ago where
Well,
it
they
was like
moved it.
112.
Well, they moved it to they moved it to the winter time because of it was so hot there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But like here, I mean, that's something that I'm looking forward to, is that like I think the South American teams and like the CONCACAF teams have a distinct advantage in that regard, because they're used to, one, the weather, and two, the travel between time zones.
Yeah.
And so like when you play in the Premier League in England, you're in the same, like it's a 20-minute drive or an hour drive down the road, but you don't change time zones. Where it's, you could have, it's like with NFL games, like when Seattle goes and plays the Giants, or vice versa, and they have to cross 5 time zones or however many it is, and sometimes that plays a factor.
Yeah.
And so I mean, and with these South American teams that are used to playing in hotter, more humid weather, God forbid, a European team has to play in Miami against Colombia or something. I haven't looked at the whole match schedule. I mean, I could probably, there's that's determined, but like that's the what we're going at here is, you
Right.
know, all these European teams are going to come here, and fitness will be a factor for sure.
Yeah. No, listen, that is quite literally the luck of the draw that we're talking about right now. And somebody, somewhere along the way, this is going to be a storyline. It's inevitable that some
Yes.
match is going to be played in a hot weather climate, and it's going to benefit somebody. Or at least it's going to be perceived that it's going to benefit somebody, and the other
Yeah.
team's going to have to overcome it that day, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to be part of the storyline somewhere along the way. It's just these games are going to be played in June and July. It's going to be part of the show.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull up the schedule because they just sent it to us. I'm curious. Hold on. I want to look at the oh dang. FIFA schedule. Bear with me here.
You good?
I'm gonna pull up. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna look and see. So obviously, like Mexico playing a lot of its matches in Mexico, they have a distinct advantage there because I mean, one, Mexico City isn't like a bajillion miles in the air. It's super high like Denver. It's hot. It's that so they the opening match that'll be fun. Mexico versus South Africa, and that was the opening match of the South Africa World Cup. So that's kind of a neat little thing that they both hosted and then hosted
Yeah.
each other in the opening match. Where are some of the like Miami games? Let's see. We got Saudi Arabia versus Uruguay. So Uruguay already is a good team, and I would imagine they have a very significant advantage there. Let's see. Miami. Here we go. So Uruguay has two games there. They play Cabo Verde there, so that's another one. They got Scotland, Brazil, Scotland and Miami. That doesn't seem to mix to me. And they're playing against Brazil. So to that point,
Is it Scotland versus Brazil in Miami?
In Miami.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll.
I mean those are the types of things that like people like you don't think about until it's brought up, and you're like, oh yeah, like that might be tough for them.
That's probably going to be a thing. Yeah.
Oh, this will be a knockout, drag-out game. Colombia versus Portugal in Miami. So that's two big powerhouses.
Okay. Yeah.
That'll probably be a highly attended game as well.
Yeah.
But with the match schedule coming out, I'm super excited. I've been looking forward to this since I came to WFAA.
Yeah.
So I mean, the crazy thing is like we're gonna blink and it'll be here, and it's probably going to be one of the greatest sports spectacles that we will see in a generation.
Yeah. No, this is going to be AT&T Stadium is going to be one of the epicenters of the sports universe for a month. Yes, and not that it's abnormal for this place to be one of the epicenters just because of the team that calls this place home, but it's crazy to think this, but even that doesn't really compare. I think the only things that could compare to this in the Cowboys space would be if they were to ever somehow host an NFC championship game here.
Yeah.
It's a little far-fetched, I know. Or if they were to, like the year they hosted the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, if they win.
Which we've only seen that happen one time before, where a team has played in a Super Bowl in their home stadium when Brady and the Bucs did it during COVID, actually. So it didn't even really have the same effect because the crowd wasn't fully there, because that was early 2021 when we were still in the thick of COVID. I feel like it would take something like that, Cowboys playing on their home field in the Super Bowl or in an NFC championship game, for it to have anything resembling the number of eyeballs that are going to be on certainly the semifinal match. And, the numbers will correspondingly drop off for the round of 16, the round of 32, the group stage matches. Those aren't going to be as heavily viewed because there will be so many teams still in it, and there will be so many other matches happening concurrently. But the standalone matches, the round of 16 match, if that ends up being in a time window where there isn't another game happening at the same time, certainly the semifinal, which will be a standalone match, the number of eyeballs that are going to be on that game, that are going to be on this building, will be astronomical, and will, as crazy as it is to think, dwarf probably even that Cowboys-Chiefs number from a couple of weeks ago on Thanksgiving, which is insane to think about. But
that's the thing that's crazy to me that I kind of understand to a degree, but I still don't even fully grasp it. But like with the American sports mindset, like people don't really understand how massive this is. You know what I mean? Like obviously the Super Bowl is like the creme de la creme in American sports. And it's obviously the one sporting event that's viewed all over the world. But even that doesn't hold even a fraction to a World Cup semifinal or final because I mean, literally billions of people from around the world
Yeah.
are watching this one game, and that I just like I can't wrap my mind around that. But I want before we go, I want to get. I completely forgot that I had this YouTube poll going. I started it before we started, but I asked what DFW match do you want to see most out of these group stage matches?
Okay.
And lo and behold, 60% of the vote is England versus Croatia, which is that makes sense to me because it's ranking wise, it's the best matchup.
Yes.
I could have seen the Argentina Austria. The opening match was the next highest with 30%. I could have seen that maybe.
Yeah.
But they lose a little bit of the luster with Austria because they're such a lower ranked team. And then in the chat, someone said every group stage is worth seeing. Amazing luck with the games. I agree with that. This is probably I haven't compared it to the other stadiums groups, but just looking at the slate, I would imagine that you could hold it up against any of the other ones.
Yeah.
And then the same person said that England fans are going to empty out every bar in DFW, which
Is there any other stadium that has 5 group stage matches? I know there are other stadiums that had 7 and 8 matches. Nobody had 9 like AT&T does.
Yeah, there's a handful. I think because where DFW got more of its matches was in the knockout stage.
Knockout, yeah.
So it's everyone, it seems, looking at the match schedule, has either 4 or 5.
Okay.
No, so Monterrey has 3, but 2 of the Mexican cities have 3, and one of them has 4. But most of the matches are being based here in the United States. But all of those have either 4 or 5 group stage matches.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I mean,
just having Argentina twice, having England, having the Netherlands, having Japan twice,
that's a draw.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I guess let me see if there's anything else we need to cover here. No one voted for Netherlands versus Japan. Apparently, no one's interested.
That's a little surprising. Yeah, because that's another good matchup. That's 2 teams top 20 in the world rankings, and
to me, that's a fantastic match to open up with here in Dallas. It's really cool. There's an old video from the Euros a year or 2 ago. I forget how many. But it was when the Netherlands were competing in the Euros, and the fan supporter group were lined in the streets, and they were bouncing back and forth with flares going and smoke and flags, and just that visual. I was like, obviously that's probably what's gonna happen. That would be so cool. Just to see could you imagine walking down the street of Texas live, and there's just this orange crowd bouncing up and down, chanting. Man, that'll be super, super cool.
Yeah.
But I agree with this person. I definitely England is probably the one fan base in America that has the biggest following.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So I agree. England fans are going to show out.
I mean, is Mexico's bigger? Certainly here in Texas it is.
Well, I was just saying of the European teams.
Fair enough.
You're definitely right. Mexico's following is the biggest, here in Texas DFW at large. But of the European teams, that's who I would imagine is the biggest fan base.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I appreciate you hopping on with me, Mike. I'll let you get back to
Likewise.
Yeah, let's see what is the.
You timed this very well. We're like a minute and a half into the third quarter, so we timed this extremely well.
What's the score there?
Okay. Texas Tech must have kicked the field goal right before halftime that I missed as I was heading over here to catch up with you. So it was 13-7 at halftime, and it's still 13-7 as they're starting the third quarter. So
okay, so if you think really quickly before you go pivoting to this Texas Tech thing, if BYU were to upset them, who do you think gets left out at the bottom? Because they have to bump somebody out.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Bama if they lose, or is it going to be Notre Dame? Because I feel like it's going to be one of those two.
It's.
If BYU wins,
I think it depends on how. Yeah, because BYU wins, Tech is still going to be in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Tech's not going anywhere. I I think it'll depend on how Alabama plays Georgia tonight.
Like how they look.
Yeah. If they
That's
play
like,
them really close, then I think you start getting into the discussion of where, I guess, because then it would be Notre Dame, right? It would be that
would be
next
next.
team that would bounce out.
And they'd have to kick them out.
It's going to be hard for them to kick Notre Dame out. They look really good. Jeremiah Love is
And see that, but
outrageous.
that's why I wanted to bring it up, because if BYU does win, that puts the committee in a conundrum of they have to contradict themselves. You either have to kick out Notre Dame, or you have to punish Bama for losing in a championship game. One or the other.
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
Yeah. Either way,
Or-
you're wrong relative to things that you have told us in the past.
Exactly. Or they could even, I don't imagine this would happen, but they could come out from left field and then throw Miami in with the, because
The whole
which would be a
Miami
double
beats
win.
Notre Dame part is very interesting because they did. They beat Notre Dame. So the idea that everybody's saying, well, Notre Dame's the better football team, it's kind of like the results on the field have to matter here.
They lost.
It's all very conflicted. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to
Anyway,
your
it's going to be a crazy day of college football.
I'll let you get back to your post, and we will do this again soon with the World Cup when it comes around next summer.
Heck yeah, man. Thanks, buddy.